Good afternoon, everybody. It is Friday the 13th, isn't it? February. I am Bug from a band called Bug Hunter, and this is abnormal. I normally don't live stream on a Friday. Let me just text. I was literally just on a FaceTime with my folks, and I should probably tell them that I'm streaming. I literally hung up and was like, okay, I gotta go. And then I forgot to tell them that I was doing this because I actually didn't know. I just kind of decided to hop on because it is, oh, here's my dad. It's tour day. It is tour day. I'm sure that if you're plugged in enough to know that I'm live streaming on a Friday at, what time is it? I actually don't know. 3:30 in the afternoon, East Coast time. Then you're probably locked in enough to know that we put tickets on sale for our tour. Boom, check it out. This is the year where I don't point in the wrong direction to my tour dates. So we got them all here. They're a little. Seattle, Portland, Berkeley, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Provo, St. Louis, Kansas City, Lincoln, Nebraska, Denver, OKC, Austin, Atlanta, Durham, and DC, and then finishing up the year in July with Richmond, New York, Boston, Akron, Indianapolis, right before Gen Con. Anyone who's going to Gen Con, if you're like, hey, you're not coming anywhere near me, but I am going to Gen Con in Indianapolis, we're playing the night before and also attending the con the next day. So we're also going to go to Grand Rapids for the first time. We've been trying to do that literally every year. I think we were like, oh, we'll switch up between Detroit and Grand Rapids, and it just never worked out. And so we did Detroit 3 years in a row. So we're doing it this year. Then we're going to Madison, back to Madison. We were there 2 years ago. Minneapolis every year. Des Moines, first time in Des Moines. Des Moines, and then ending things in Chicago, which we are unofficially deeming our Jam Mechanics Comic Con for all those who celebrate. Yeah. No Pennsylvania again. Yeah, I don't know why. We didn't really mean to. It just didn't work out this year. Who's in the chat? Look, it's all like the same normal people that are normally here. No matter when I come on, you're here no matter what. Cool. We got Sweet Summer's Child. Hazy Horizon is here. Wild Crom is here. Julie is here. Is Kevin here? We got Mars in the chat. Oxygen Thief. Catanium. Sable Brush Wolf. My dad's here. My mom's here. Aspen Draw. Look at all these names that I know. Hop Hop Hooray. McDonald's Man. So yeah, if you haven't seen, I'm basically just on here, just play some songs, answer any questions that people have about the tours. There was never a world where if anyone was here 2 weeks ago when we launched the Kickstarter, I was like, we're doing a Kickstarter launch stream and I'm going to be on camera for it. There's no world where I could have done that today for the tickets because there's actually, I sat down at my desk at probably like 11:15 to like lock in for everything leading up to noon, and then I did not get up or look up again for 3 hours between all of the social media emails, things that were wrong with venue links, because we say, hey, here's all the information, all you gotta do is just make it exactly how we said. But then some venue will be like, oh, they got the time wrong. They said doors at 6:30 when it's 7, and then I have to go look and make sure that I didn't mess it up and go look and be like, okay, no, spreadsheet doesn't lie. Spreadsheet says 7. So emailing them, making sure that they got it fixed, all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of work. So there was no way that I was going to be able to actually kick off when it went live. But it's been about 3.5 hours now. Things are going really well. Things are going super, super well. My spreadsheets are telling me that people still like us. So that is always good news. Always good to hear. When you're never sure. You're never sure. Every year could be the last. But we're doing all right. So Caleb says, congrats on the new tour. Keep us in mind in Dallas next year. Yeah, Dallas is an enormous big city for us that we didn't come to this year just because if we had, it would have been missing Austin again. And so We actually added the OKC show. We weren't going to do that one either. We added Oklahoma City mostly as an option for Dallas, because we couldn't get to Dallas from Denver in that amount of time. The way that things were kind of routed, we could only really like reliably get to OKC. So we're like, we'll go to OKC to give Dallas people a second option of a place that they could potentially drive to. There was somebody I was talking to though, and I was like, they lived in Dallas, and I'm like, are you coming to Dallas this year? It's like, we're not. We're coming to OKC or Austin. And they're like, oh, well, it's got to be Austin then, because we can't drive in Oklahoma. And I was like, oh, is that like a state rivalry thing? And they're like, yeah, can't do it. I was like, all right, Oklahoma City's closer. So J-Rock wants to know about a slow date for the next tour. I would love to make slow work. We're going to go to slow this year, just on a personal trip in between Berkeley and LA. That's where we're going to be spending that day in between, but no show, just a break and go to Firestone. So. Sable got the tickets for Berkeley. Awesome. Do you ever have plans to run by Kentucky? I think so. Yeah, I think at some point we'd like to. I know Cincinnati isn't Kentucky, but Cincinnati kind of feels like Kentucky because it's like right there. So there's a world where we do that. This year, the stars kind of aligned for our tour schedule for us to go to Gen Con in Indianapolis. So that's where we kind of put that region show. So at some point, it'd be nice. Coin says, oh, wow, there's a coin on the tour poster. There is. So, yeah, I put together this poster. I'm really happy with how this came out. So I normally, the way that we do our posters every year is I ask Deep Blue Ink, so can you draw us in these poses or with these costumes or in this style? So the Jaws, you know, is like the swimming and the shark. And then I normally then put the poster together, you know, so I have like the assets. So like for this, Deep Blue Ink gave me us on coins. And drew us a little piggy bank. And then I was like, can you draw us a jar? Because we were like messing around with, maybe we'll put it in like a felt kind of like board, like a collector's cabinet kind of thing. But then we kind of were like, well, what if everything was in a jar? And so I was like, can you draw a piggy bank for us and then a jar? And then, so then I filled up the jar with a bunch of coins and dollars and created the coins that had the music notes on them and the guitars on them, and got him to draw Papa Bug and Jesse and Kyle as well. For my side of the jar. And I was really happy with how this one came out. I really like the colors. I really love the pig. There's been several formats of the poster where it didn't make as much sense to have the pig on it because of just whether it was horizontal or square or tall or whatever. And I pretty much forced the pig into every possible iteration of this poster because I love the piggy bank. And then we had to obviously throw in a coin. Let me play a song. I didn't come on here just to brag about going on tour. If anybody wants to hear me play a song, something that maybe you want to hear on tour later this year, I'd be happy to play something. Agamemnon. Agamemnon sits in a place where I've rewritten it and I don't know how to play it. So, unfortunately. Bragging, I think I played on my last tour. Something new. You'd like that, wouldn't you? I could do a Jam Mechanic song, maybe. Oop. Oh, Valentine's, play something lovey. I could do that. I don't know if I got any lovey songs. I got any lovey songs. I don't write a lot of love songs. Play Deserve Me for Valentine's Day. My dad wants Bert. Turns out Bert was in a different key than I thought it was after writing the song. I've been playing it in G this whole time, and then I actually opened up the file, the Logic file, and it was fully in G flat. Who knew? Sweet Nothing is a great pick for Valentine's. This is my most romantic song. It's about finding a partner and having somebody in your life at all times and never having to be lonely because of another real person that exists and is tangible. It's called Sweet Nothing. Well, I know a girl. Her name is Sweet Nothing. voice, warm heart, she is so lovely. Everyone in the world, oh, they want something. A real person named Sweet Nothing. She helps me eat my Oreos, her habits janitorial. She keeps it clean and that's the thing that sweeps me off my feet. And I'll take a dose of dopamine, cause boy do we have chemistry. No wonder she's so bubbly, I'm bound to overheat. She'll promise to stick with me, even though my faith is iffy, even though my arms are skinny, even though I can be vain. She'll promise to stand by me, even when my room's untidy, even when she knows I'm lying, by the smile on my face. Because I know a girl, her name is Sweet Nothing. Little voice, warm heart, she is so lovely. And everyone in the world, oh, they want something. But all I want is my sweet, sweet nothing. When I was chasing everything and willing to take anything, the lowest low I dared to go to try to make me whole. Well, that's when I discovered her, and I'll never need another her. She lit the love inside me, final one I'll ever know. She'll always be my partner, even if our lives get harder, as we push our stories forward towards the climax and the fall. And to keep from being fiction, her love comes with one condition: that I learn to love myself before I learn to love it all. Because I know a girl, her name is Sweet Nothing. Little voice, warm heart, she is so lovely. And everyone in the world, oh, they want something. But all I want is my sweet, sweet nothing. And nothing gave me more, oh, like nothing has before. And I thought nothing would make me whole again, and nothing did. Sweet nothing did. Sweet nothing did. Good for a first dance at a wedding. Good for a proposal. Appreciate you. Did my dad just say clarity? Did you mean to say clarify? Are you trying to say there's some like subtext to my song? Just a song about a sweet girl. Quit trying to add subtext to my song. Oh, clappity. That's even funnier. Tickets to the Bug Hunter Nurses Cookbook and Jam Mechanics Tour would make a great Valentine's gift, says Julie. I agree. Could not agree more. And if you want, you can go to bughunterbug.com. The link is in the description below. I've been glued to it all morning, just watching tickets come in. We don't get to see a lot of them the first day, since we only get to see the ones that we sell. So that this year, that is Portland, Berkeley, LA, Kansas City, Oklahoma City, Madison, and Minneapolis, I believe. And so I've been watching those tickets go up, and then everything else is just thoughts and prayers. Hoping everything else is going similarly, which I have to assume it does. Just watching people get excited in the Discord. Everybody's been really, really enthusiastic, which just means the world to me, Matt and I. We've just, a little emoji fist bump in the Discord chat for us this morning, of just being like, hey, we did it. It's going well, which is obviously, this one is big because we have to pay to get Matt a visa every year, and it is expensive. It's not cheap. And so if the tour were to not sell well, it would be really bad. The nice thing is that this year, and this is great news for everybody who's a fan of Matt, previous years we only get a 1-year visa. That's what we do for Matt, because we're just like, we just want it to be done as quick as possible and not to have to go back and forth, which could take weeks if not months. So we're like, just 1 year, just exactly what we're planning. This year we started early. We're like, we're going to do the 3-year visa so that we can know from here on. And it got approved first try. So Matt is set for the next 3 years. Actually, it's 3 years, but it's through December of 2029. So it's technically 4 tours. You know, if y'all don't come next year, it's fine. We've got the visa, all that money back. It's all good. But it puts us in a much better position where next year, less risky. You don't have to put that giant money up front. So I know. So Matt can just come whenever. Matt can come over for dinner. That's great. Chrysanthemum says, I'm so glad you're back in Akron this year. Couldn't bring my girlfriend to Columbus last year. Yeah, honestly, Akron was a city that we never really intended to go to or back to. We actually were aiming for Cleveland the year that we went, just to kind of mix it up and see like, hey, maybe people from Columbus and Pittsburgh will all come to Cleveland. And then we just found this venue in Akron, and we loved it. We loved this venue, and the people that worked there, they also like they book our shows in Columbus too, and so like having that connection is great. And we were like, you know what, we love that venue so much, and it was really fun to play there. And the show did well, so let's try that strategy again. And instead of doing Pittsburgh and Columbus, let's do Akron and Indianapolis. I think we had set out to maybe do Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, but then the Indianapolis stuff happened, and then we're like, well, we can't do Indianapolis and Cincinnati, and we had a really easy in Akron. They okayed us for the date pretty much immediately, which sometimes that's half the battle of I don't have to follow up with you. Sometimes when a venue's just like emails back within like 2 hours and says, yeah, sure, sounds great, same deal as last time, it cuts days of work off. So instead of trying to like go and find something different, sometimes it's easier just to go with what you know. So a lot of repeat venues this year, which it feels cool to go back to a place that we've played before. And Boston, this will be 3rd year in a row, Denver 3rd year in a row, St. Louis 3rd year in a row. We decided to mix it up from Indianapolis just because we had 6 options. Chicago, same as last year. Roses Are Better got surprised with VIP tickets today. It's awesome. McDonald's man seeing us for the 4th time. That's been in St. Louis, Kansas City, St. Louis. I'm assuming probably Kansas City this year. St. Louis, we weren't going to do this year. That was not on our list. We added it. It was the last show we booked because we were intending to do Nashville and Kansas City, and we never found anything in Nashville. And so we're like, well, instead of just not doing a show, let's see if we can do St. Louis. And so Candy says, why did you switch the Portland venue? That is a very funny joke for anybody who knows what happened in Portland last year. We did reach out to that same venue, and we had an option to play there, and we would have felt comfortable playing there again. And here's why. They were so gracious. Basically, if you don't know what happened in Portland last year, we had an all ages show booked. We had played at this venue before. We had done an all ages show. They're normally 21 plus. They had like a special exception to do an all ages. There's like a certain license that they fill out. We had played there. Everything had gone great. The second year we went back, the manager just forgot to file the alcohol license for an all ages show for that weekend, and there was nothing they could do the night before to get it done. So they had to switch from an all ages show to a 21 plus show. It left about 75 people out in the cold, essentially. Some people showed up to the venue even though an email was sent out, because obviously not everybody reads their emails. And so it was just devastating. But they did everything they could to make it up to us and apologize and take responsibility. And since then, they have got a full permanent license to do all these shows whenever they want. So it can't happen again. But we decided to mix it up this year, just to kind of get a little wipe the slate clean for people who don't understand, to explain that to everybody individually and to apologize to everybody individually is a lot. It's a lot of goodwill and trust that people put in us. And even though there is nothing that we could have done to circumvent that situation. Obviously, some people will still blame us, and that's fine. You know, maybe we could have emailed them a week ahead of time and said, hey, you know how everything went well last year? Just want to make sure that that's going to happen again this year. There was no reason for us to think that anything was going to go wrong. But so yeah, we're doing a new venue. It's also just nice to switch it up sometimes. Julie says the VIP was so worth it last year. Turns out Bug and Matt are actually lovely in person. I had such a fun time. The thing that I remember most about that Vancouver show was because it was a smaller show, we got so much time to talk with people. I feel like I had a conversation with almost everybody who came to that show, because I think it was like 70 people, which is it's small for one of our shows. And I remember feeling like we didn't have a lot of merch either, because if we going across the border, we just had postcards, and so a lot of after the show, it wasn't like a lot of huge thing for merch. It was just kind of like hanging out, and people would come through and talk to us. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah, come to VIP. It's if it's in your means, it's the most fun. It's almost sometimes it's the most fun part of the night. I would say that my favorite part of the night is normally the Jam Mechanics set, because that's where things go different for the most part. I'm very used to playing my songs and bantering between my songs and that kind of thing. The Jam Mechanics set is where we don't know what's going to happen, because we kind of mix up songs and we take questions, and I never know what Matt is going to do. Matt is a wild card. So that's normally my favorite part, but then VIP is the other part, because we get audience questions and we never know how that's going to go. The songs that we play are always out of left field, because I normally just get on stage and just be like, what do y'all want to hear? And so that's where I'm going to end up playing things like Baby Teeth, and then a small child is going to lose their baby tooth while I'm playing Baby Teeth and then offer it to me. Real story that happened in Toronto last year. Halo says, I hope you put the Jam Mechanics set online again this year. Yeah, so we did put the Chicago set online, and that was just happenstance. We didn't know that they were going to be filming, and genuinely, every Jam Mechanics set is a one-of-a-kind thing. Like that, the Chicago show was one of them, and luckily it was probably our favorite one of the year. Just happened to be the one that they filmed, because it was the end of that tour. We got to stay pretty late. We played more songs than normal because it was the last show of the tour, and we had the energy for it. So says, if I'm able to make it to the indie show, it'll be my first ever Bug Hunter concert. I would love for you to come. I feel like you've been in my live streams for a really long time, and it would be awesome for you to see us live. Are you planning on doing some Jam Mechanics songs at most of the shows? We're planning on doing Jam Mechanics songs at all of the shows. Our normal setup for a show is about an hour with me, an hour with Matt, and then about 35-40 minutes, both of us on stage with trading off songs for Jam Mechanics. And then me and Matt will swap who goes first and who goes second most nights, because it's co-headlining. And so yeah, we always play Jam Mechanics songs in those. This year I'll be playing a bit more unreleased Bug Hunter songs, but also technically happen to be Jam Mechanics songs during my set. So there are songs that are Jam Mechanics songs that will be Bug Hunter songs when the new album comes out, the one that we're kickstarting. So those will be kind of in my main set, likely. But yeah. Is Papa Bug able to make all the US shows? I think so. Yeah, I don't think that there's any that we're plan. Like obviously the plan can change, but as of right now, we know that I think he'll be there for everything. Last year we knew he was not going to make some shows just due to scheduling, and he was actually able to add on some shows last year that we weren't sure about. This year, right now, the plan is Papa Bug everywhere. So in terms of full band, I think somebody asked this earlier. The red dates are a mix. So the Seattle through Berkeley should be full band. LA to Provo should just be me and Jesse. The blue dates are I'm planning on those being solo. That should just be me, Matt, and Dad, just driving around the desert. And then far side green dates, Richmond and New York, I think are going to be me and Kyle. And then Jesse's going to join us in Boston because he has another band to play with that Friday or something in like Wyoming. And then he's going to join us in Boston. And then I think it should be full band from Boston all the way to Chicago. I haven't confirmed that yet, but I know that at the very least, Boston through Indianapolis should be full band because we bought Gen Con tickets for all 5 of us. So, and then I'm hoping that Kyle could stay for the rest of that. But he has a job and PTO that he has to use, and also has a wife that I can't use all his PTO. I wish. That's the plan right now, and all of that was kind of hinging on tickets selling well, because if tickets don't sell well, then I have to pivot a little bit and do more solo shows. But as long as everything is like tracking like it is so far, that should be the plan. And Jesse's also working this year on producing the 5th Bug Hunter album, so. Hazy wants to know, are the VIP tickets already selling out? There are some that are going to sell out today, almost, basically certainly. I would say certainly going to sell out. Let me actually check. I haven't checked since I've been on the stream, but I know Portland was getting close. Portland and Berkeley are both in single digits. New York is in single digits, which makes me assume that Seattle, Boston, Chicago are also probably also in single digits at this point, but I just can't see those tickets until tomorrow. So that's the best thing I can say. Those are tracking like they'll sell out today or tomorrow. DC VIP, I don't know. DC normally sells out, so I would say I would guess by end of week for DC. Like I said, I don't have visibility. I could get the email tomorrow and they could all be gone. But DC's a top 10 size show, not top 5, so it's hard to say. What would 10 years ago Bug make of today Bug, I wonder, says Paperclip Enthusiast. 10 years ago Bug just released Surge of Confidence and was riding torn between a couple. Yeah, even at that time, no world where this was my life. Even when I wrote Dear McCracken, no world was this my life. No. Even when Dear McCracken came out and we got a little bit of attention and we got the Kickstarter for the rough draft, which was 2018. So now we're talking 8 years. I was still like, this is cool, but I will always work my full-time job and this will just be a cool little thing that I did. It wasn't really until a little bit later on after COVID. And even the Bug that quit his job was like, hey, I can do the bare minimum here and I think it'll be okay if I can do like these house shows and go around and like I'll make, Spotify will pay me a little bit and YouTube will pay me a little bit, and then if I can play some shows and maybe sell some shirts on my website, I can like make this work. It wasn't like that. Even that Bug, which was 4 years ago, wouldn't have known that it was going to be like this. I think it was meeting Matt and then doing that first US tour together and having the doors blown off the first week we put tickets on sale and everything selling out in that first week, and then having to upgrade venues, and having I think there was like 2,000 people on our wait list in 2023 who like we just couldn't fit into shows. So and that's why we were like, well, let's tour again in 2024. I mean, there's literally 2,000 people. If just these 2,000 people came to the shows in 2024, that would be great. And then that led to 2025, and then that led to 2026. So we're not going to stop until y'all stop doing what you're doing, which is buying our tickets aggressively on the day they drop. Yeah, I think we'll probably do this until we like crash and burn. We'll probably do this until we like put on tickets and people are like, nah. And then we'll probably still do it. but then we'll just get smaller venues. Caleb's got those St. Louis tickets. Candy, I bought too aggressively, had to cancel some. Yeah, I remember that. You bought a little too close to the sun. It's all good. It's a good thing you caught that, though, because those were some tickets for a show that were rapidly selling out, so I'm glad that we were able to free those up for somebody else. Yeah, I'll play safe word. I should probably put, if I'm gonna do safe word though, I gotta put the battery in. A lot of boom. Let's see, it's surveillance cameras, and then it's camel camouflage. Got it. You can't see the That's so... Oh, that's so funny. I'm not gonna fix it. A broken clock's right twice a day. Mine spins in reverse and may have double odds and better luck. Now it's twice as good as worthless junk. My heart's as healthy as a horse, but my hard hat's looking hardly worn. That other steel-toed boot'll drop, but I don't know when or how to stop. I wish I had a secret code to signal me to take it slow. I need a sign like calculus, cause my limit does in fact exist. So slow down, focus, do yoga poses and learn to love the lull and just breathe, breathe, breathe. Alright, I'm good, I think I'm smiling and nodding, but surveillance cameras caught me laughing maniacally, headbutting every obstacle. I've got to turn it off and pick back up when I am calm, even with an invitation. Boy, you gotta learn to knock it off. And do me one favor, remember the safe word. I get that passion motivates and crashes down like ocean waves, but tunnel vision's toxic, man. You're not John Henry, take a breath. It might sound harsh when you are used to head rubs, praise, and sugar cubes. I just hate to see you racing towards behaviors that we shouldn't reward. So slow down, focus, do yoga poses and learn to love the lull and just breathe, breathe, breathe. Alright, I think I'm smiling and nodding, blending in and getting on, but no, I haven't fooled the cameras in my camel camouflage. I'll take it off, and I won't spit on anyone, even with an invitation. Boy, you gotta learn to knock it off. And do me one favor, remember the safe word. And I have no construction crew to build this introduction tune, but it's sound and under budget too. Chords work, beat works, the verse and melody works, and these words, they each work, have purpose versus knee jerk. Say be first, let's be sure our neon PPE works. Now the only thing that needs work is the last bit of the bridge. I think I'm smiling and nodding, my old man are nodding off. It's just my neck is getting tired, so much nonsense to hold up, just take a pause. But don't give up the dream. If they change the locks behind you, you can find another key and hope a smile and a nod's the only signal they have seen. You're no machine, but there's no shame in blowing off a little steam. So hear me knock, hear me hammer, hear me yell, and don't knock it till you try to knock or try the bell. Oh, let me in. The trip has been paid for, and you have a wait for it, so don't waste the day or delay it for later. So glad that I had my clock going for that. It's funny. So in my setup, here's why I made a mistake. In my setup, what y'all see is over here. It's like I gotta look all the way over here for it. It's a long way away. When I look at my camera, there's a little side thing, and it shows the whole thing. It doesn't have the overlays because that's all put on in OBS, right? It's just me. I see my clock, I see my ukulele, and so I'm looking. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta put my clock on. It's very funny though. Secret clock. I better take the battery out then. Hold on, I want y'all to see my. Can't show you my clock. All right. Don't need that anymore, obviously. Emails here. Let's go. Tour. I'm sure that we'll get to see you at one show, which I'm excited about. But where'd the battery come from? Look at all these cool people in here. Katie's here. Coin is here. Mars is here. McDonald's man is here. Email's here. My dad's here. Oogway's here. Tour announcement got Oogway to hop in the chat. How much effort does it take to memorize all the songs you perform live? I don't know. It depends on the song. I don't really practice. If it's a song I haven't played in a while, I'll normally like run through it like in my head backstage. The only song that I like would fully want to like play and make sure that I have is Fan Fiction, because it's a song that I very rarely play. I don't think I played it at a single show in 2025, mostly because I get hyped up about it where I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna forget the words, and it's just one of those songs. If I mess up in the middle of Toddler with a Slingshot, I don't care that much, and I just say, oops, I'm sorry. But Fan Fiction, if I mess up in the middle of it, it just, the whole song's ruined. And so it just, I get psyched out thinking about playing it. Take It Back is another one that I would not want to mess up, but I play it more often. So, if I messed up during a song, I'd be like, oops, I'm sorry, my fault, my bad, yikes, I screwed up, whoops, I flubbed that on your left, no right, frick, damn it, I get those mixed up by habit. Or something like that. That's normally like something I would say. If I were to mess up during a song. Mars says, new headcanon, that time you did the Pebbles Boogie Feet mashup, you just forgot the lyrics and improvised. Yeah, what was that? It was LA, I believe, when we put the entirety of Boogie Pete in the middle of Pebbles for no reason other than I like figured out they're in the same key, and nobody liked it. But I have no regrets, but I wouldn't do it again. Unraised Panda wants to know, will we get any singles before the album comes out? Yes, I plan on having a single out before this tour starts, so before May 20th. If I can really pull it together, and if the stars kind of align, there's a world where I get the Hook EP Part 1 out before tour as well. Things just have to go correct. If they don't go correct, then it should hopefully... Then it's hard because it cascades, right? Because then if I go on tour, then I can't work on it, and then there's only 2 weeks between tours, like 2 or 3 weeks between tours, and then it's like, well, to try and figure all that stuff out, like I would hope that, you know, if I don't get it done by tour, it may end up being August, but optimistically, there's a world where I get it done. Because I just got to do 4 more songs. The hook's already done. It's already out there. I just got to do 4 more songs. I can do 4 songs in 3 months. He said, not knowing if it's true. Chrysanthemum wants the unreleased song for that I played in Columbus last year. I don't remember exactly which one that was. Don't put any spoilers in the chat, but I am excited to get that. I actually don't know which one I played. I think I know which one it was, and it's coming out. I don't think it's gonna be a single though, because it's a bummer. So. My dad is excited for tour this year. Yeah, I just got off a call with my dad. He was calling to see how tickets were doing, and he is so stoked to get back out on the road. And we were reminiscing. It's like, when did we have time to do all this? When did we have time to go? How was our 2023 tour 3 years ago? How, like, we remember it like it was yesterday. How have we done 2 full tours since then? I mean, there's people seeing us in a little pizza shop in Chelsea, Michigan in 2023. And it's like, how have we traveled to Berlin twice since then? How, like, it's just, time's going too fast. It's too many fun moments. Speaking of time, Timio's here. The Robust Empyrean asks, will you ever release a studio version of This One Is the Wedding Song? No. I don't think there will ever be a better version of that song than the one that is on our YouTube. It's like one of the first videos on my YouTube. It's my wedding toast for my brother. I would gain nothing by recording it in a studio to like a click track. There's already a video of it that is perfect. So no, I think that one lives lives where it is, and that's good for us. Candy remembers the karate studio in Portland. Exactly. Like how that was coming up on 4 years ago. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that we went from more people got turned away to our Portland show last year because of the age debacle than came to our karate studio show in Portland. That's how much we've grown. That's crazy. And that makes me sad too, man. That's a bummer of a statistic. Cheese Whiz asks, if Jam Mechanics, you mentioned a family or legacy-based album, is that one of the 2 future albums you have planned for 5 or 6? It is. It's likely going to be 6, but it could be 5 if the next 2 months go weird. But Grab It wants to know, well, where did you develop your art style for your little guy? I really like your art and love the cartoony style. That is not me at all, or anything I can take credit for. It is a gentleman named Deep Blue Ink, and he has been animating our music videos for several years now, and it is Deep Blue Ink's art style, and I've just been very lucky to kind of grab the coattails of that. In a lot of ways, people will be like, I checked out this podcast because I recognized the art was by Deep Blue Ink, who is like, I mean, he's got like 250,000 YouTube subscribers. He has a web show that he makes, and I did a voice for. Like, he has had like email correspondence with Sam Reich, like, you know, real popular, cool guy. I went to his wedding, kind of. And yeah, so that is all Deep Blue Ink. I just borrow it. Wants to know what my least favorite song to sing is. Probably fan fiction, honestly, because I get so nervous about it. So yeah, Half-Life Alex said, I learned about y'all from Deep Blue Ink, and I learned about him from Drawfee. Exactly. That pipeline is real and exists. Any good stories from Deep Blue Ink's wedding? Yeah, I don't have time to tell them here, though. If you want to go and put on Jam Mechanics Season 3, you will hear everything that happened at that wedding. If I could time skip back to any part, you guys got a lot of really good questions today. If I could time skip back to any part of my music career, which part would you pick? Oh man, I mean, honestly, like, I don't know if I would time skip back and like do differently, or just like live again, because like right now is as good as it's ever been, like, for sure. Like, I wouldn't go back and meddle with anything, like Butterfly Effect myself into a different reality. If I had to think about like moments in my music career that if I could bottle that feeling, I think Asheville 2019 was the first time I had a full room of, like, at the time it was probably like 30 people all singing along to Dear McCracken. It was the first time I ever stepped away from the microphone during the bridge of Dear McCracken, and the room carried the song, which I do at every show now, but it was the first time I'd ever done that, and I was like, this is the craziest thing that's ever happened. Like, I've obviously been doing music for years, and I was, 3,000 miles from home, and all these strangers were full belting my song back to me. Very cool. Seattle 2023, London 2022, very memorable. London 2022 was the biggest show at the time we'd ever done, 80 people. And then the next show that we did was 6 months later in Seattle. It was 365 people. And so that was obviously a big jump. We were nervous if we could even do it. We were nervous if, like, can we get up in front of this many people and, like, play a show? And it turns out we nailed it. We nailed it so good. So, yeah. Every year's been great. 2023 had a lot of DIY energy that I don't miss. I don't miss bringing our own speakers and running sound like on like the little board next to the speakers. You know, like something's going wrong with like Matt's thing, and I have to like run up through the crowd and like adjust the dials. I don't miss that at all. But there was something charming about it too. I have a question about the tour poster. Are there coins behind the tour dates in the jar, or is it blank? Great question. It is totally full. It is full and correct. I did the entire jar. In fact, the original design had the label go all the way around to like as if the label wrapped all the way around the jar, and so you didn't actually see the edges. But I spent so much time making sure that the edges looked kind of realistic with like turned sideways coins and slightly angled coins that kind of looked as if like they were like, you know, like the glass was kind of reflecting through them, and like the horizontal ones. I spent so much time on that when I realized that I was labeling over them and no one was going to see it, I shortened the label to make it look like it was just like a stick-on label. So yeah, no, if I went into my Affinity Studio and took the layer off for the label, the jar is full of coins. It's not blank. Katie says, yeah, remember when you would need batteries and Papa Bug had to run to the store to get batteries? Yeah. I don't miss... Oh, my wife's home. Later, y'all. I'm out of here. That's enough for me today. I got a wife to go hug. So thank you, everybody, for buying tickets to our shows. You can go to bughunterbug.com and do all this. I gotta go meet my wife at the door and show her that I'm happy that she is home on a Friday. So everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks so much for your support, and you're all goobers, and go bed.